Hello and happy Tu B'Shvat. Welcome to our celebration of this new year of the trees. Where does Tu B'Shvat come from? Well, the name itself, Tu, is an abbreviation of the date. It is the 15th of Shvat. But why do we celebrate a birthday of the trees? Well, a New Year of the Trees is one of the 4 New Years that our Mishnah teaches about. And it came about originally because farmers needed to know when a tree had entered its 3rd year. After 3 years, the fruits of a tree could be harvested. For the 3rd year, it would be offered to the priests, and then beginning in the 4th year, farmers could keep that crop for themselves. So how could they know how old a tree was unless they counted each and every tree, which would be a little unwieldy? And so they created Tu B'Shvat, a New Year of the trees, so that they could count every tree that had been planted in a year and know when it reached that maturity stage to then begin harvesting the fruit. Now, today, we're not as concerned per se about that, and we have reinterpreted this holiday to be one that advocates for environmental consciousness, certainly still for tree planting, but the Kabbalists actually also created a spiritual connection. They introduced the idea of a Tu B'Shvat Seder full of fruits that have pits in them, fruits that would be the first grown at this time of year in the state of Israel. And by doing so, they imagined that by releasing that, we are releasing a piece of ourselves, a spark of the divine that we have within us, and contributing that to the world. And that in so doing, we are creating a richer environment and adding to the beauty and the purpose of this holiday. So we will today get a chance to celebrate trees, take a look at what it means to be environmentally conscious, and to celebrate this new year of the trees.
What we need to make sure about is that the hole is deep enough and wide enough for the roots. And on the tree, so this is Rabbi Dinner's tree, she got an Eastern red bud. Unwrap it here. What we need to make sure is that the hole is deep enough. So the top of the hole is going to be at the top of this top root, and then we'll spread the roots out, and the hole needs to be deep enough so we're not squishing the roots, and then wide enough so the roots have some space to go and grow out. All right. So we're going to test it. So the way that we check it out, obviously putting the tree in the hole, but an easy way to see if it's deep enough is to put a shovel across the hole, and then you can just put your hand across and you can see where it meets the tree. And right now, it looks like we're pretty good. We might need to do a little, I think we're going to make it a little wider because the roots are kind of a little split. And if you want, you can come and look and see what it looks like in the hole. So I think we'll make it wider so the roots will be able to grow out. And to me, it looks pretty good. Like it's almost deep enough.
Oh, he is tasty. Let's just check it again. You want me to pull some of that dirt out?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good, huh?
So we're gonna check the hole again. And I think we actually might be too deep. See that? So we're gonna put a little dirt back in. But we're wide enough now. That's what's important. So I'm just breaking up the dirt so it's not so hard, because we have this nice, we have this, well, maybe not so nice, the red clay of North Carolina. gonna be good, just like that.
So I get some of the potting soil?
Nope. So I like to plant trees in the soil that they're gonna grow in, so they get used to it right away. I don't do amendments when I plant trees. The roots just are gonna have, once they get past this hole, they're gonna have to learn how to get through red clay.
Okay.
So that's how I do it. Yep. So when you're putting the dirt back in, one thing, there's a couple things to keep in mind. You want to make sure your tree's straight up and down and not going in at an angle. So that's just something you need to check all the time. And then the other thing is you need to take the butt end of the shovel and just tamp down the dirt a little bit. Not really, really hard, but you want to get rid of air holes, because the air holes dry out the roots. Hope I'm being loud enough. It'll pick that up. So every once in a while, you just tamp down that dirt as you put the soil back in. All right, so give me a chance to tamp this down. Make sure our tree is standing up straight. So how's the tree look before we put any more in?
It looks pretty straight.
It looks straight here, and it looks pretty straight there.
Yeah, that's 90 degrees, isn't it?
And I think we actually might be too deep. So I'm actually going to pull up a little bit. And we'll tap it down again. So I just kind of pulled up, which is a little bit, to make sure the tree isn't too deep, because we don't want it to be, we want the top of the hole to be at the top of this root right here. We don't want the dirt to be up here on the trunk. There's this root flare, and we want that to be above the ground. And the other thing is, because we've dug up the dirt, it's gonna settle. And so the tree is actually gonna move down. And so we don't want it to already be too deep. All right?
All right.
You can see how my shovel goes down into the dirt, and so you can tell that there's definitely some air holes in here that we need to get rid of. Okay? Then the other thing is, you don't want to put weeds back in with the dirt, because weeds are a competition to the roots. The weeds will take up the water before the roots can. So if you have to clear any grass or weeds from where your hole is, you don't want those weeds and grass to go back into the hole. Okay, so we've got the top of our root right here. I think we did a perfect hole.
Having the expert helps a lot.
Well, and multiple eyes. I'm gonna tamp it down again. Might add a little more dirt because of that.
Trying to get the acorns out. I don't want another tree on top of my tree.
Right. Exactly. All right, so there we have it. So we can see a little bit of that root, but we've covered up the rest of it, and then there's that root flare where the roots meet the trunk of the tree. It's important for that to be above ground. And here we have it.
All right, should I water it right away?
Yes, it's really good to water your tree when you plant it. And then once a week, you could do a slow drip watering if it's not freezing. Like if it's freezing, you don't want to be watering it. Also, like if it rains during the week, you don't need to water your tree. It's important for this tree to have, to be taken care of for 2 full summers, meaning you need to water it, especially when there's dry spells through the summer. But after 2 summers, it should be able to take care of itself.
That's great. We're excited to replenish because we lost a couple of trees the last couple of years, and this will be beautiful back here.
Eastern redbud's a beautiful tree. It has these purplish red flowers that come out in early spring. So I think it'll be really nice looking out your window. You'll be able to see this beautiful tree.
Thank you, and
Rabbi.
thank you for doing this incredible program for us and for the world.
We have an eastern redbud tree right here. They're keeping it in this watering can to keep the roots moist. And we are going to plant it in this hole, which is as deep as the roots are. So I'm going to take it out of the watering can gently. And then I'm going to put it in the hole that we've dug. Lightly fill the hole in with dirt. There's a lot of dirt to fill in, which is why it might take a bit. We're almost there. Just take some pine straw out of the way. And so next I'm going to water it slowly, carefully.
Tzadik katamar yifrach yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach. Be'eretz belevanon yizke, be'eretz belevanon yizke, be'eretz belevanon yizke yizke. Be'eretz belevanon yizke, be'eretz belevanon yizke, be'eretz belevanon yizke yizke.
We close our time together this Tu B'Shvat by reciting two blessings, giving thanks and appreciation for both the product of trees as well as the opportunity to celebrate them in this moment. So if you have a fruit that has a pit in it or one of the species from the land of Israel, I invite you to pause me and go and get it. I have with me a date. And I say, and please join me, Baruch atah Adonai, bo Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'etz. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who brings forth fruit from the trees. And our last blessing, the Shehechianu, marking this moment in time as one that is joyous, one that is appreciated, and one that we hope to arrive at again. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, for sustaining us and enabling us to reach this season.